So Mary goes into the store. Mary just wants to buy a bag of chips, out playing with her friends, stuff like that, and just out playing with her friends. And she's at the counter with the bag of chips and says hello to the clerk, and the clerk is hello because the clerk knows Mary. They live in a small town. It's wonderful. And as Mary is going into her pocket to pull out the dollar to pay for the chips, because that's how much it costs. Don't move. All right, you heard me, motherfucker. Give me all the stuff in the register. Give me all the stuff in the register right now. Mary freezes. Mary doesn't move. Mary looks at the man, but kind of looks away from the man. Looks at the man, but kind of looks away from the man. And the man is able to grab the stuff. Little girl, don't move, little girl. Mary doesn't say a word. The man is able to get the cash from the register, stuff like that. And then the man leaves. Mary is a little shaken, but not that much. And so the police come. The clerks call the police. Police comes. Mary is able to give a description in as much as she was able to see of the man. The clerk gave the description of the man. And Mary immediately went home, told her father what happened. Mary made a smart decision. A smart decision. Why do we say Mary made a smart decision? Well, Mary's father is a retired Navy SEAL. And Mary's father knows that early childhood education matters. Mary's father took some courses in early childhood education, took some courses in family and consumer sciences. Yeah, you would think, why would a Navy SEAL do something like that? Well, Mary's father's father was smart and skilled in family and consumer sciences. Taught him the value of family. Taught him that it's not enough to just create a family. You need to know about the science of family so that when problems arise in marriage and parenting, you will have the skills to be able to make both decisions and choices. To make skilled decisions, skilled choices, smart decisions, smart choices. Notice the words that I'm using, right? See, I think that parents sit there and because they are ignorant to human growth and development and early childhood education and stuff like that, they'll sit here and use person praise. What is person praise? Just things that you say, affirmations that you say to make a child feel good. Because if a child feels good, child's gonna do good, right? Maybe. We're gonna have a conversation on that. We're gonna have a conversation on that now. Because yes, when you feel good, it does give you motivations to do things, but do you know how to do those things? And just what is this thing called the good? In my undergrad, my majors were criminal justice, psychology, and philosophy. And when you take courses on ethics from a philosophical standpoint, when you take courses on logic, they help you expand your abstract knowledge to be able to ask better questions. Okay? So, what is this thing called the good? Is it a societal good, a subjective good that's good to you or good for you or not good for others? What is this thing? And I think that when you look at moralism, right? Moralism, that which is good, that which is bad, that which is right, wrong, legal, illegal, godly, ungodly, just, unjust, fair, unfair, stuff like that. And you begin to teach children these things early on. I believe that you interrupt the process of fully understanding the utility of the skills that they need to master. When you tell them that which is good and that which is bad, and you don't let them decide for themselves that which is good and that which is bad, you don't let them master the skills that they need to have to be able to do things that in life, later in life, could be bad for someone else, but could in fact be good for them. What are some examples of what could be bad for someone else but good for you? Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries. Sometimes lying. Sometimes you find different ways to say certain things to protect a person's feelings because you know they don't have the capacity for the truth. and you're in that situation where you have to make a skilled and smart choice versus a decision. So let's talk about this. Choices versus decisions before we talk about skilled versus smart. Choice. There is a difference between the word in the definition of choice and the word in the definition of decisions. Okay? Choice, it begins with C. Decisions, it begins with D. Alphabetically, C comes before D. Developmentally, choices come before decisions. Why? The definition of choice is a decision or a selection made when presented with two or more possibilities. If you take logic in philosophy, you learn the word or means either or, not them both. A decision or selection when faced with two or more possibilities. But if you look at the word decision, what does that word mean? Decision. A conclusion reached after consideration. So I bet you want to look up what consideration means, right? Consideration. Careful thought, usually over a period of time. Usually over a period of time, which means you have to have the distance to have the time. Distance equals time. Distance equals time. You have to have the distance to have the time to make decisions. A conclusion reached after consideration. Okay? And what does that word time trigger? Patience. Patience is defined as the capacity to be able to tolerate or accept delay, trouble, or suffering without being angry or upset. Let's chop it up. The capacity to tolerate or accept delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Okay? Here we go. What word should we want to look up? Capacity. Capacity. The amount something can contain. In science, how are capacities or how is capacity tested? Applications and pressure. Something is applied to it and pressure comes with the thing applied to the whatever that thing is, right? So when we look at situations that people are presented with, that situation is an application of a thing upon the mindset of a person. And depending upon what type of thing presented, it comes with pressure. I am of the opinion, it is my theory, that boys, especially black boys, fail the pressure test. Why? Because we are not understanding process. In early childhood education, if you take an art class, right, the class is really called variations of the title, Creative Activities for Young Children. If you got a wonderful professor, like I had the fortune of having, Professor Tamar, right, we learn about process art versus product art. Process. No end goal or no design that we're looking for them to do, right? What are we doing? Just giving them paper. And this is one of the activities. Giving them paper, giving them watercolors, or giving them paint, non-toxic paint, washable paint, and just letting them just create things on their own, express things on their own. No two people are creating the same thing unless they choose in and of themselves to create the same thing, talk amongst themselves, whatever. But they're free to create. Will they talk amongst themselves? I don't know. It depends on Mildred Parton's 6 stages of play, right? OSOPAC, OSOPAC. You've got, USOPAC, okay? USOPAC, unoccupied play, right? Solitary play. You got onlooker play. You got parallel play. You got associative play. And then you've got, cooperative play, okay? Sometimes parents want cooperation in the beginning when that's not the stage of play that they're in. Even play has levels. Isn't that something, right? So they're probably just going to be creating things on their own. Why? They're trying to develop them. They're trying to get into them, right? And we just let them just do. And then what is process praise? While they're creating process art, we're giving them praise on the individual details that we notice. And what does that do? If you look at the book Growth Mindset, what does that do? that helps them see the effort in their work and pay attention to detail. I think it's crazy work when parents want children to pay attention to the very details the parents don't even pay attention to, right? So process praise. You get a lot of product-oriented parents that just look at the product instead of the process. Product instead of the process, right? So then when we look at skilled, right? Skilled versus smart. I think if you look at product praise in trying to build a child's self-esteem, I am smart, I am beautiful, I am great, I am light, I am one. Oh my God. Some of these affirmations are just person praise. You just try to make this person feel good in hopes that they would do good, but when life shows them there's this application of this pressure, when life shows them that you are not skilled to handle this problem, all humans have two primary emotions, love and fear. Love and fear, right? Fear of not being able to solve the problem sets in. And then the longer you sulk in that fear that you can't solve the problem, and then if there aren't Lev Vygotsky, more knowledgeable others around to whom you can go to and present this problem to, and they can help you learn how to solve your own problem, the fear then turns to anger. Oh my God, my child has an anger management problem. No, your child has an underdeveloped parent who doesn't understand them and how to help them solve their problem. Your child has an unskilled parent who doesn't have relationships with others to help that child solve that problem. Your child doesn't have an anger problem. Your child has an environment problem. Now we're diving into Yuri Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, right? The child's microsystem is problematic, dysfunctional. That's the source of most of these children's anger. All emotions are tools and are designed to help a child try, or help a person try to get to an end. All behavior has meaning. All behavior is goal-oriented and directed towards trying to achieve this goal. What is the utility? Utility just means the use. What is the utility of this emotion? What are we using this emotion to try to get attention toward getting? My child is being rebellious. What is the utility of this rebellion? It's designed to help the child get to something. Because rebellion in the dictionary simply means to resist. A child is supposed to resist not getting their needs met. A child is supposed to resist abuse and mistreatment and even miseducation, right? So when we look at skilled versus smart, right? Skilled, what does skilled mean? Skilled means having or showing the ability, the knowledge, and the confidence, and even the intelligence to be able to do something that they were taught how to do, right? What is smart? Quick-witted intelligence. Quick-witted intelligence. Quick-witted intelligence, right? So when we go back to Mary in the store, right? When we go back to Mary in the store, Mary was able to make a smart choice, in fact, not a smart decision, but Mary was able to make a smart choice. Why? A choice is a decision or a conclusion, a decision or a selection made after being faced with two or more possibilities, right? Why was she able to make a smart choice? She was able to make a smart choice, which is quick. She was able to freeze. She understood I shouldn't do anything because, here we go. The man who came in to rob the store, could he have killed us both? Yes, he had the drop on us. He was able to come into the store with smoothness, speed, surprise, and violence of action. Not violence, violence of action, right? Mary knows, because her father taught her, if you are ever faced with a robbery, an armed robbery, freeze first. If they have not shot you, 9 times out of 10, it's not your body they are looking to seize is whatever property you have on you. Now, could you still be killed? Yes, you could. But what's the probability of that happening? Statistically, if they're going to just rob you, they're just using what's called the threat of force. I am threatening to do this, and if you want your life, you will give me what I'm asking for. And then they leave. You don't be aggressive. You don't try to use moralism. You don't have to do this. There's better out there for you. The value of your life. They don't want to hear all that. In fact, doing that is throwing gas on their fire. They just want the stuff. Give it to them. Breathe. Don't even look them in the eye like that. It's not that. Just play possum. It's a psychological game. And she had the intelligence as given to her by her, Lev Vygotsky, a more knowledgeable other, that helped her survive this situation. Because if he wanted to kill you and the clerk, he would have just came in and shot you both. Why? A dead person is easy to rob, and an unoccupied store is easy to burglarize or rob. You see what I'm saying? So it worked for Mary. Why? Because she had a smarter person, a skilled person, who was able to teach her the way she learns. Why? Because her father's father values family and consumer sciences, early childhood education, impressed upon his son that to be a better skilled father in the space of family, you have to understand how your little learning human beings develop. Family and consumer sciences matter.